Alright guys, welcome to the BARRA Swapped 350Z videos. I'm editing this like 3 months after I've actually completed the car. So yes, it runs, it drives. Haven't done an event on it, did 8 laps, but you'll see it all coming up later on and everything. Whole reason why I haven't posted a video for a pretty long time now is that this has been taking up all my time. I've spent about 5 months doing the full motor conversion, and I've done the whole lot myself, which obviously you're going to see throughout the videos. When it comes to editing the videos, I'm going to be doing an intro like this and an outro like this on all the videos, because when I got the build, I just dove straight in, recorded what I could, and I wanted to get done. So yeah, this is video 1, obviously. This is literally going to be the teardown of the BA Falcon. So rundown of the whole car, as I didn't explain it in any of my videos. It is was a 2003 BA Falcon, which had a motor conversion, which was a Barra Turbo from a BF Mark II. So it's kind of the best one. Obviously the FG is the better one, but pay for that. But yeah, it was a BF Mark II motor swapped with a T56 in a BA Falcon. P-plated kid, try that again. P-plated kid owned it, and he thrashed it. The Falcon was an absolute mess, which you're going to see in the video. As for running gear, it was mint. Did miss a few oil changes here and there. We sorted it out, we cleaned it up, changed what we needed to do. There we go. What else? Yeah, so that's just gonna be this video, me tearing the Falcon apart. Like I said, it was filmed over a few months. I have to admit, it was like, yeah, 5-6 months or something like that. And this has been edited about 3 months after the build. So it's been a very long time since I've even uploaded a video. But just quickly, if you want to keep up to date on everything I do, literally when it happens, just follow my Instagram, follow my Facebook page. I post both straight away, and I'm always posting, so make sure you check that out. Yeah, so this is part 1. I'll catch you guys at the outro. Hope you enjoy the videos. Alright, so I might just quickly show you a bit more in the engine bay as the front bumper's off now. You can see all the really dodgy intercooler piping. I don't even know. I'm the type of person where if you got to do something, you do it properly straight away. I mean, I've got coolant leaking, and all I've done is just taken the front bumper off. As well as just taking the front bumper off. The headlight is loose. So I think this we're gonna run into a few dodgy things here and there, but hey, that's all part of the fun. Car runs fine. I drove it 40 minutes home. Piece of cake. As for how it looks and how everything's put together, not too good. Let's keep diving into it.
Alright, so I didn't record, but I have pulled literally all the center console out, all the middle party dash, where all like the climate control is. It was an absolute mess. I mean, again, when I wire stuff up, I like to make sure it's good. This was just thrown together. Yes, it did have SAS, boost gauge, oil pressure gauge here. Not sure. They weren't even plugged into anything. They were just sitting in the engine bay. All that money on gauges. I mean, they're cheap gauges, but they weren't even plugged in. That's a bit of a waste for me, but this is so far everything that is I've been taken out, so we can get access to more room and back into the engine bay. Alright guys, bit of an update. It's now day 4. I'm going to quickly show you the parts I'm mainly keeping off the car, obviously motor and gearbox, but just obviously the other things you don't really think of. Still got 1 or 2 more harnesses I want to pull out, and then just the drop-in fuel thing, fuel hat, whatever they're called. It's got the fuel pump because it does have an aftermarket pump. So things I have kept off the car, obviously ECU, throttle body, all that stuff. Billet clutch reservoir, like the indicator stalk. Well, I had to keep all that because that is plumbed into the key barrel. Plan is obviously I don't want to have to change all that crap, but it's there if I do want to start it. Pedal box, literally, as it is fly-by-wire. I'm probably gonna have to keep this pedal, and I'm probably gonna have to try and somehow make this clutch work in my car, as I'll just put clutch fluid everywhere. That is the main body harness. It's got all the fuses there, and then in that box is the there's 2 like exterior body harnesses, and one's got the fuse box that goes in the engine bay. So they're mainly the things I'm keeping. The engine bay is pretty much bare now. It's just motor. Interior is an absolute mess. Couldn't get the dash out. I absolutely have no idea how to get it out, so I went absolute mayhem and started ripping it apart, cracking it apart. I got the harness out that I needed, so that's all I care about. And that is the whole tray full of just Falcon parts. So been a bit of a mission. I've only been spending about 2.5 hours each day after work, but it is getting flipping close to where we can pull the motor out. So gonna rip out the rest of the harnesses, hopefully get in the fuel tank. Let's get to it. So as you can see, seats have been ripped out now. When I brought the car, there was about, I reckon, 8 of these car seats in there. I think I know why. As there is green moldy water in the driver's side. I'm sweating my ass off. It's about 30 something degrees here, and it stinks in this car. And I paid $10,000 for this. Motor's mint though. Alright guys, so the day's come, pulling the motor, gearbox out. I'm going to start with dropping the gearbox first. Just took the shifter off, tail shafts off, and that's just the bell housing bolts, and then the 4 gearbox mount bolts, and that's it. So probably won't record doing the gearbox, as this crap lighting can be hard to see, but we'll record the fun part, the Barra Turbo. Let's get to it. Right, T56 is out. Absolute beast of a box. Bit heavier than the CDO, but that's also a bit stronger as well. So the next fun part being the motor. Let's get straight into it and get her out. Alright guys, Barra is out and is on the stand. We did end up taking the exhaust manifold off the turbo as it was a little bit heavy, and the engine stand did start lifting up at the back. But yes, it took a few hours. Yeah, I think next step now is starting to tear it down and bulletproof it, and a little bit more horsepower. But I'll clean up the shed, get rid of the POS Falcon, and yeah, so I'll catch you guys wherever I'm up to next. So yep, catch you then. Alright guys, this is going to be a quick little update. So I have been spending some time on the motor. As you can see, it's kind of pulled down, the valve covers off. So well, just quickly, obviously the exhaust port's open. I've just made a blank from work out of 3mm steel and then a 3mm rubber gasket. I'm going to do the same for the intake manifold. Haven't had time to get that off, but because it was Black Friday sales, I actually went through the motor as much as I could to see what was wrong with it, and I've already spent $3,000 on, let's say, parts to bulletproof it. There's no performance parts in that $3,000 budget that I've already spent. Plan is I want to build my motor for longevity. I don't want crazy horsepower, I want it strong and reliable. Hence the reason why I've kind of went for a Barra as well. So just quickly, I'm not going to be shy on my parts and the prices. I'll be doing a full parts list at the end of the video so you guys know how much I've spent. As when I watch other people's YouTube videos, I think it's the coolest thing to actually see how much they've spent, because if you want to replicate their build, you know how much you need to spend to get the same build. So I want to bolt up the exhaust blank. I need to try and get the harmonic balance off, as I'm going to be painting the valve cover. I'm painting that and that cover there, timing chain cover, in this pretty dope yellow. So yes, let's continue doing that. Probably not going to show me, well, I'm not going to record me doing any of that. That's boring stuff. But as soon as we have some parts in, and even when we maybe start stripping the motor out of my drift car, we'll get back to going full recording and everything. So yeah, I'll catch you guys when I do another update or working on the car. Well, my vlog camera battery's died, but I'm just going to do a quick update of where I'm at right now. So, as you can probably see, drift car's back, Ute's gone. My parts are slowly starting to arrive. Still got a fair more crap to come, let's say. Intake manifold of the Barra is taking off. So obviously that's the full intake manifold. I'm not going forward facing plenum, as people still reckon they can get pretty decent horsepower out of the stock one. So my plan is for today is that I'm actually going to start painting that black. The Barra is basically all apart now. There's nothing left on her. Really, it's now just the internal side of things. So I'm kind of having a chill week as I've been a bit crazy. What I'm going to do on the car is that I'm trying to do the battery relocation, so I need to extend this. So I'm going to take this out now and head down to an electrical shop, try and get them to extend it. I'll just get a new wire so then I can put the battery in the boot. Now that I have my drift car back, so obviously the plan is for this is that fenders, side skirts, headlights, full radiator support is coming off. When the Barra's in, plan is to do the oil catch can where the battery is, as I kind of want to try and keep this secondary firewall thing. Yeah, fair whack of stuff to do. I'm really OCD when it comes to doing stuff, so I'm kind of like stressing out, I want everything perfect, but at the same time kind of want it in so I can get drifting again. What I'm gonna do right now, get the wire out for tomorrow and then start doing the plenum. Alright guys, another quick little update. Don't know, this is like week 2 of working on the car. Got heaps of car parts, well, not heaps, but a few motor parts have arrived. Still waiting on a few. As soon as they come in, I'll put all my bench and show you what I've got and why I got it. So the last place I left you guys was I just started painting all of my intake manifold. Just got to do clear coat now. These are the support braces that go under the manifold, and I'm super happy with how that yellow's come out. I mean, it's almost a match. Yeah, so what I'm going to do now is tape up the motor, and I'm going to start sanding and get ready to start painting the block, because I want that black, as the engine bay will be black as well, so it will look flipping clean as in there. So without further ado, let's get to doing the motor. Not going to show you, it's boring. I'm just painting a piece of massive metal chunk that will look cool at the end of it. So let's get to it. There's a bit of progress on the painting the engine. As you can see, I've got the whole lot primed. That is the old oil can, so I just left it on there. Didn't have to mask anything that way. Yes, already from a rusty black oily block to this actually looks flipping pretty cool. You can't really see because of the light, but actually looks pretty sick. Can't wait for the black. It's gonna pop. Otherwise, all my intake manifold, all the clear coating is done on that. I'm just waiting for the last coat to dry. But as of right now, while that's going on, I'm actually going to start doing battery relocation in my boot. Got my battery, ground clamp, and my battery box is somewhere. Got parts everywhere. So I'm going to quickly do that, put that in. I'm not going to show you. It's actually a few bolts and it's in. So yeah, I'm going to go do that now. Alright guys, battery box is in, flipping sturdy. So as you can see, over the ground to my chassis, which goes like that. And obviously got my positive, which is running. I'm going to actually center it all the way down, which goes behind my dash. That was such a simple, easy thing. Literally took me like 5 minutes. Probably should have done it sooner, but at the time, you know, I just wanted it in the engine. That way I didn't have to worry about extending wires. But now that doing all new harnesses, I've just gone in and just done it. So that's done. Gonna go put a black on the block, and I'll show you guys how it looks after. Alright guys, the block is painted up and it looks flipping sick. So that was, yeah, 4 coats of black. I can't really see the sides of the sun, but there we go. Pretty happy with how that turned out. So now we'll start pulling the whole front end of Z sled apart, being fenders, hood, headlights, rad support, everything. That way it's just easy to get to, makes life so much easier. And the best thing with the Zs is that when you pull the rad support out, the whole lot's open, so we can bring the motor and gearbox out as one. So yeah, set you guys up on the tripod and time lapse. Right, quick update. Radio support is off. A lot of the stuff in the engine bay has been taken out. Harness is all freed from inside the cabin. I actually had a few people come in and out the house. That's the reason why I didn't show you guys that, as I was just walking in front of the camera. Didn't care at all. So now, I'm going to jack the car up, drain all the engine oil, drain the gearbox oil, undo the tail shaft, and it should be ready to get pulled out. That's the plan. So yeah, let's go to jack the car up. Had a bit of freshen up. Christmas is like next week. So here we are for an update. Motor gearbox is out of the Z. From working on that Ford to getting the Barra out to working on this to get the motor out, the Ford was 100 times easier. Don't know why I need to make everything so difficult. As for the motor being painted black, just taken off all the masking tape and pretty happy with the result. The oil pan's looking pretty dirty, but when that comes off I'm going to clean it up. Just going to leave it just that colour, but get all the rust and dirt off it, and then yeah, we are doing pretty flipping well. I have received, sorry about all the mess everywhere, my switch panel. So I'm just trying to work out how I can mount it in here. I was going to put it here, but where my hydro cylinder sits, it sits behind it, so I can't put it there. So panel's going to go here, and we're going to try and find a place for my ISO switch. So yeah, I was going to try and mount that in there somehow, and yeah, take it from there. Right, well there you guys go. That is part one. As you can actually see, no car is actually off to tuning today. So that's gonna be pretty interesting. But yeah, so that's part one. As you've seen, we ripped the Barra Turbo out of the Falcon, and we also ripped the VQ out of the 350. Part two is obviously gonna be me rebuilding the Barra and starting to test fit it all into the 350Z. So yep, from looks of things, could be 3 parts, maybe 4 parts. As you literally seen in this video, is just me just updating you guys, as I want to spend most of the time focusing on doing it all properly and correctly. Yeah, so if you like this style, hope you did, because that's how the rest of the other parts are going to be. Yeah, so thanks for watching part one. Make sure you like, subscribe. Part two should be out in a week or two. And yeah, that's it guys. I'll catch you in the next one.